This was the spot of the Miners Union Hall. A lot of dances and parties went on here, but it doesn't really say what happened to it. So this building here was actually the jail. It was built in 1897, but it never really got used. In the early days, there were some shootings and problems with claim jumpers, but people generally worked these things out for themselves. The only time the jail was supposedly ever used was for a guy named Frank Kern, a miner who got drunk all the time, and one night he killed someone's dog, so they locked him up for that. It wasn't unusual for rifles to be carried, but they're only supposed to be for game. Dirt floor, log roof, cook stove. I imagine this is a big frame. Oh, this is probably the actual room where you got locked up. I don't know. They never really locked anyone up except for the drunk guy who killed somebody's dog. Maybe you got locked. This is a small window. I don't know. We'll head on up the hill now. Here's what's left of an old place. It's falling apart. I think when I was coming up here to see the school, which is up the hill here. So the first school was built in 1897. This one was the one that replaced that one. This one was built in 1938. Dueling outhouses. Big room schoolhouse. And just boarded over. Coat room. And we'll walk down the hill. That's a big hill to walk up just for that. It says schools like this in these mining towns were actually kind of rare. This is the Blacksmith shop, 1896. Dirt floor. Good. Hand crank here. Still works. Bellows. And this is an 1896 stable. Old saddles. And they did store hay up in the loft. And right over there where there's nothing was the site of a carpenter shop that collapsed in 1970, but it's gone now. These next few cabins are miners' homes. So the miners were in a hurry to mine, so they built these homes in a hurry. So they cut corners or whatever they had to do so they could get to looking for gold. A little tiny door. My head comes to here. Oh, I gotta stoop. It's a short. Oh, and the whole cabin's kind of short. You can stand down the middle. You can stand From this log to that log, I guess I could live with that. You can only walk back and forth down the center of your cabin. Just got a makeshift window. Just cut part of our log out. Oh, get back to this door. Let's see the next little cabin here. Actually says this is the post office here. It's a tiny little post office, tiny little cabin. There's not much in it. We'll get back to the miners' cabins here in a second. Adam's house, built in 1896. Mr. Adams' newborn son died in the hospital. Mrs. Adams delivered a baby girl and saved her from a living room fire a few months later, only to lose her at an illness of age 3 from polio. So it said it was tragedy after tragedy for this family. Ain't that sad? Hey, look in here, everything furnished in here. It says we had to fit everything in 2 trunks on the stage. I remember looking at my kitty as we drove off. So she left her kitten behind. Back to the miners' homes. You can tell it's shorter because they tried to save time. They didn't want to. It's kind of similar to the one we was already in. Short little door. I suppose that helped hold the heat in. This one's missing the whole rear. Bed frame's still here. Old stove. Oh. It's nice and peaceful up here though. You hear birds. This is apparently just another miner's home. Kind of built a kitchen on the outside. Probably had it on the inside originally and then added on. Got a room in here. It did have a floor. The floor is missing. That's why they're not letting us in there. There's kind of a floor in the back room. This is another miner's home. It's short on the sides, but he made it kind of tall in the middle. And the door is a little bigger than the others. It's kind of slanted, but although it ain't no bigger on the inside, really. He tried to put a ceiling in. I suppose that would have made it a little cooler. Stove. They never take the stove. They're too big and heavy. Just walking by this miner's cabin, by the outhouse. Now it's a triple. I've seen lots of doubles, but never a triple yet. This is the first triple I've seen. See, back in the day, they would just sit here beside each other and take a crap. They didn't care. This here is the Honeymoon cabin. This was the cabin that Frank Davey of Davey's Mercantile down there put behind the store here to rent to newlyweds who came to town, and they could stay in his cabin for a month or so until they built their own place. Never think of all the action that bed has seen. Let's see what this building is. It's got a Park Service, I guess. Boy, look at that old chair. It's all closed off. And right up on the hill there behind it, says people came to Garnet after President Roosevelt announced an increase for gold and it became profitable to mine again. Glenn and Edith Hall lived in Kelly's Saloon right there while they built their frame house in 1937. Apparently this is their house then. It says it has 3 rooms, a bedroom, a kitchen, and a front room and a living room. So this cabin may have been rented by Joseph and Catherine Fitzgerald family while they built a permanent residence in Dublin Gulch in 1911. Dirt floors. There's a lot of lumber laying in here. Oh, they've been trying to shore it up, it looks like. A little bit. That's new lumber there. Oh, they're putting new lumber on the walls too. Maybe they're gonna fix this one up. There's one of them prairie dogs. Stove. Just a big one-room cabin. Got one more place to look, and then we're done with the town, really. And this cabin, I can't go in because there's a car up here. Because so this cabin you can actually rent and stay in. It's built in 1930. Has a different style roof than the other cabins. But it looks like there's a car there, somebody may be renting it. So this is as far as I'm going. We're coming down the opposite side of the hill from the ghost town, which takes you to Route 200, which is a much better road than the other side. But because we're headed on up the glacier next, so. But this little viewpoint here, I'm going to check this out. Under all these rocks. It says it. Over there's the Rattlesnake Mountain Range. Mission Mountain Range, Blackfoot River Valley. This drainage right through here is the Elk Creek drainage. And over to the far right is the Scapegoat Wilderness area. It's a hell of a view. You can see a long ways. Cows in the road. Hi, Bezzy. What you doing? What you doing, Bezzy? Huh? Can I have some? I'm thirsty. She's got plenty, she's dripping. Damn, he's a noisy eater. And look at these. We're like a couple miles down the road from the ghost town, and there's a cemetery. There's just a few stones up here at the top. All wooden. Tom Williams died 1893. William Ross died 1898. Something. William Hamilton died in 1905. William Sheehan died in 1906. And I'm sure there's other graves here, but they're not marked.